Okay, hello everybody. This is part 3 of the IBM Voice Gateway series that I'm doing, and today we would like to show a quick demo of the IBM Voice Gateway. So if you've been following these series, part 1 gave you a little bit of an introduction into Voice Gateway, explain what it is. Part 2, we get into more of the architecture behind it, and specifically about configuring Voice Gateway with the Watson Virtual Agent. And then today what we're going to do is I'll give you a kind of a quick intro again, very quick on just Voice Gateway, the architecture I'm going to show today, the use case, and then we'll get into actually seeing it work. So a Voice Gateway does connect through a phone system, so hopefully the speakerphone here will be loud enough to actually pick up the audio from the Voice Gateway, and everything will work just fine. So let's go ahead and try this out. So just a quick intro on what actually is Voice Gateway. So at the heart and soul of it, Voice Gateway is a new product that will connect our Watson services to basically a telephone system. Some people will use a virtual phone system, the voice over IP. Some will use the actual, an actual phone system. I get into that a little bit in the second part of the series and explain the use of. For this one, I'm actually using Twilio, so I get an actual phone number, an external phone number, configure that with Voice Gateway, and then configure that to talk to the Watson Virtual Agent, and that's what we'll be doing today. So basically the Voice Gateway is part of an overall omni-channel solution, covers phone, web, social, many other different types of channels. Today obviously we're gonna show phone. Other series, I've talked about web a little bit, but today we're gonna primarily go through and actually show the phone pieces working. So just a quick intro on the self-service use case. There's a couple different use cases that I explain in more detail in the first part of the video, first video of the series, that is. In this one, I'll just say that we're going to do the cognitive self-service use case, and that's basically where a customer, you typically would call up. You have a phone number, a customer service number. That number then is going to route through our Voice Gateway, which is going to connect us to our Watson services running on Bluemix. So you can also do things like obviously transfer to an agent or that kind of thing. We're not going to get into that today since don't really have another person to do the live agent kind of pieces. What we're going to do though, like I said, is just kind of leverage all the conversation flows that put together in the Watson Virtual Agent previously and use those with our Voice Gateway and doing that through the phone. So if we look at the architecture a little bit, real quick on what we're going to show today, it's Voice Gateway itself can run on premise or in the cloud. This is installed in IBM Bluemix in a Voice Gateway in a Kubernetes cluster that is running on Bluemix. And then I have several different Bluemix services that are being used, and these are kind of the minimum that's listed on here of what you're going to need from a Bluemix service side in order to use Voice Gateway. So obviously you're going to need some kind of a conversation service. It doesn't have to be the conversation service that's in Bluemix. You can use, like I'm using, instead to actually run the conversation flow, I'm using the Watson Virtual Agent instead. The Watson Virtual Agent, great because it has a lot of predefined conversations or intents and capabilities for specific types of not only use cases but also industries. So I'll talk about that a little bit later when we get to it. But for now, I am using instead, I'm not using conversation just as it is. I'm using the Watson Virtual Agent, which in turn uses conversation. You definitely need text-to-speech and speech-to-text. So those are the two two different services that are required, and that's how the voice gateway is able to transfer everything that you say into text, and then take the text from the conversation flows and turn it back into speech that we're going to hear on the telephone. So you can see there's a couple different phone numbers up there. One's a US, one's a UK phone number, and they have this set up, just kind of as is. If you want to find out some more information about Voice Gateway, where it can run, what the pricing is, and any other information, it's kind of a test that you can use and call up, one of these numbers and just kind of try it out for yourself. So pretty neat that way. All right. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get into the actual service itself. As I said, I am using the customer service for telco piece of Watson Virtual Agent, and it has like we said, it has a number of capabilities. I have it set for my agent name is Mia from My Wireless. I created a company called My Wireless, and then we have a number of different capabilities. Today I'm just going to use some of the very basic capabilities that are built in, because I'm not really trying to showcase Virtual Agent. I have a whole other series that does that. Instead, we're really going to talk about just kind of the integration with Voice Gateway. So if I look at this, it's I'll try just some basic ones like About Us. I click that. I have it defined to kind of tell us we're a small telco company located in Chicago. And then I'll do a couple of different other ones like like the store hours, something simple like that. I'll also do something about the order status, so you can see there's one on order status. So we'll find out what our order status is too, saying that, like, for example, if I actually placed an order and wanted to see where my phone was. So just kind of the showcase, we've shown this a little bit before. I want to show you kind of like both sides of this. So it's the same, I think the key here is it's the same conversation flow, same Watson Virtual Agent conversation flow. I happen to be right now on a web interface to that conversation flow. It's a Node.js app that I wrote. I can say, tell me about your store. Okay, and it says, okay, I can tell you about My Wireless, and it gives me a little information about that. What are your store hours? Okay, our store hours open from 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and 9 to 7 on the weekends. Great. What is my order status? And it tells me, okay, from our tracking system, looks like your order is right on schedule and going to be delivered, next week, Monday. And I think one of the neat things about using Watson, especially when we start talking about, IVRs, and some people might say, well, I can do a lot of this stuff through an IVR. Well, one of the things, if you look at, a typical IVR, if you think of calling an airline or a company, that, let's say in this case, a wireless company, I want to know what my order status is. I might have to go through a certain menu, follow a very strict menu to get to actually where my order status is. If I'm using my voice, I may have to actually say order status for it to recognize that, which I can do here. But with a cognitive system, it understands the meaning behind the language. So I don't have to specifically say, what is my order status in order to get my order status. I may be able to say something like, where's my order? And it understands that as well. So it understands where's my order is the same thing as, what's my order status. So that's where we're really leveraging the power of cognitive and Watson. And this is pretty neat because we're actually reusing, the exact same conversation flow that we defined in our virtual agent. So let's go ahead and try this now with the voice gateway. So I have like I said, a phone number set up. We'll turn up the speakerphone and we'll see how this actually works.
my name is Mia from my wireless. I am here to answer your questions. What can I help you with?
Can you tell me about your store?
I can tell you about my wireless. We are a small telecommunications company located in Chicago, but have agreements with several providers to offer very competitive rates and service worldwide.
What are your store hours?
Our store hours are from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday, and 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. on the weekends.
What's my order status?
I can tell from our tracking system that your most recent order is currently on track for a delivery next week, Monday.
Great. Goodbye.
There are several things I can help you with. I can help you find the nearest store, make a payment, and answer many frequently asked questions. Where would you like to start?
Goodbye.
Thank you for contacting us. Goodbye.
Okay, so that was a demonstration of using the voice gateway. I don't think I was close enough probably to the speakerphone on the last one, so didn't quite understand that I was saying goodbye right away, and it actually routed me through kind of the generic flow in our conversation that, okay, I can help you with a number of different things. If it doesn't quite understand, it might say something like that. And then when I got closer, it actually picked up the goodbye and did its greeting at the end. So again, we used Watson Voice Gateway. We used the Watson Virtual Agent and defined that, and we connected the two, with the Voice Gateway. And here I'm using actually a SIP trunk, which we define and configure. I show you in kind of the second round, second part of this video series. So I would encourage everybody to go ahead and watch, kind of a quick intro on the Voice Gateway in the first part. Second part being the configuration of all this with Virtual Agent, the setup, install on the Kubernetes, the configuration of the Twilio piece with the SIP trunk. And then I thank you for watching this third piece here today on the Voice Gateway and actually demoing it. I would also encourage people to call the Watson Voice Gateway here and try it out for yourself and see how it works. You can get all kinds of different information on it.